game, but I don't have too much image.
Knicks or college or what was it?
NBA. They watched the Knicks. The Knicks played the Spurs. Last season, I came out here to watch it.
That was your first time?
My first time in the world. Yeah.
So growing up in the Bronx, you were a Knicks fan, or tell me about your
Absolutely, man. I grew up a Knicks fan.
A lot of lean years.
Ever since I started hooping, man.
How many friends, family do you have here today? Do you know how many people were here for you?
Sheesh, it was a lot. I'll say somewhere around like 30 to 40. Nice. There's a lot of people, man. There's a lot of love in the crowd today.
Elliot, did John Stark too?
John Stark?
Yeah,
I know John Stark.
Before you were born.
Yeah.
What was the message that he brought?
To us, it was just, he's asking us, what is our identity? You know, we gotta find an identity as a team. Like every night, this team's gonna come out and do well. You know? That's something that's very important to us. It's something that we gotta find, and we're still trying to find. But I think we took the right steps today and getting a win and growing that identity.
Were they nervous?
Yeah, it was great. I was so happy for them how they came out and just did that in their own home. I told Ian during the game, I told him, like, this is your city. You can't lose this game because it's your homecoming. So
how big a win is it just for the team after kind of some struggles in the non-conference?
Yeah, it's a big one for us, especially going into the conference play, going into the break, having that momentum. And, yeah, it's just a big win because all our other losses, we were kind of in the same position, like at the end of the game, tie game, and the fact that we learned from those losses.
They're playing in that building, watching games there, but playing it, every player's told me.
Was it late in the game here as opposed to Florida? You guys kind of flipped the script from the game the other night. What was the difference?
For me personally, the difference was I was focused on taking care of the ball and not turning the ball over. So that was just in my head the whole last 4 minutes. Just be strong with the ball because UCLA is really good at forcing turnovers. So that was a big thing for me and for all of us.
The other night when you walked off the floor, you were emotional. Today you're on the floor with the ball with 1/10 of a second left. You're emotional, but it's a different kind of emotion. Yeah. Can you kind of juxtapose the difference there?
Yeah, I was just really happy that we won, and I was really down on myself last game, but yeah, I'm happy that we won.
Was there a little anxiety as UCLA had the final possession and then relief when they didn't score? What were your emotions during that time?
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of tension, but we know what we have to do. We have to get the stop, and most importantly, we have to box out after the stop. So we were just focused on that. We weren't really too nervous. I wasn't really too nervous.
Elliot, is relief the right word? Since you've made all these comebacks, and they just haven't worked out, some of them. I mean, like, what are you feeling now that you're able to get this one done and get it secured?
Yeah, we just feel really good about this win because, as I said, we've been in this position for like 3-4 games. So. I think we all learned from our mistakes. I feel like last game our mistake was we didn't box out. We missed box outs.
Yeah.
We turned the ball over, so that's what we're focusing on. Everyone was running around, telling the whole team that was in the game. We were all running around telling each other, box out, box out. We said it probably 100 times. So yeah, it's good that we're learning from our mistakes.
And Jay was
kind of let me know ahead of time. Obviously, guys, spent a little time together yesterday. How much do you feel like that kind of helped you guys going into today, just that extra time as a team?
Definitely helped. It gives us more unity. Every time we spend time together off the court as a team, it's always just an extra boost. We were going through a little bit of a rough patch, getting wins, but then stacking some wins, but then getting losses too. So just trying really hard to kind of balance everything. So just taking some time away from the court and spending some time together off the court really helped.
So as you guys were, spending that time, I mean, how much of that did you talk about basketball like at all during that time, or was it just, looking at the city?
Yeah, we talked about basketball. It's kind of inevitable to not talk about basketball anytime, really. As at the position that we're in, it's just going to happen so often. But I mean, everything was pretty much off the court talk, running basketball. Yeah. Love you too, man.
After RJ split the pair of free throws, tell me about the defensive play that you made. How did that come about?
It's just me trying to make a play for my team, create pressure. We knew we wanted to try and get a trap first and then foul. Try and get an opportunity to get a steal before he fouls. So that's all I did. That's all I tried to do and made it work.
Amongst some of the late moments that gave indication that maybe you guys were going to close this one out, you pump faked the three and went and drove and you scored over Billy. How big was that for you to see that go through the net? Because you hadn't had a lot of fall lately.
Yeah, it was huge. The three before that was even bigger for me. It was It was a long night on the offensive
5
end.
points like in 40 seconds or something.
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah, it was a really long night on the offensive end for me, but stayed through it, persevere. I know I'm not going to have great night shooting. I know I have great night shooting. I know there's just a balance that comes with it. So just got to stay locked on the defensive end, continue to do what I do. But it was huge just to see that ball.
Another one of those late game situations. You guys flipped the script from the other night against Florida. How did you do it?
Intensity, and just determination on the defensive end. When we apply ourselves to the defensive end, we just really just tell ourselves like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and we make it happen. We're a whole new team. We're a whole new team.
What were the emotions of possibly feeling a little anxiety with Kansas's last possession to getting the stop and the rebound and finally breaking through? What were the emotions during those seconds?
I don't think about the pass at all. I don't think about the pass one bit. Kansas was Kansas. They capitalized off the post. But we were focused on getting a stop. That's all we were focused on. We know we couldn't let up an easy 2 because it was a 2-point game, and we know we couldn't let up an easy 3. So, but no anxiety from Kansas, no anxiety from any past games. Every game is its own game for me.
Ian seems pretty fearless for a freshman. What have you seen out of him, and what do you think of his performance today, really going at the defense a lot?
He keeps growing and growing. I think him playing in the Garden, him playing back home in front of his friends, today that was huge for him. That was a huge step. That comfort was there for him, and it showed. It showed we came out the gate and take a transition 3 and knocked it down right away. So he looked comfortable from the get-go, and that's what we need from him. You know, we need a guy, whether he's starting, come off the bench, whatever it is, but we need a guy. Right now, he's coming off the bench. We need a guy off the bench just to continue to have that spark on the offensive end and on the defensive end.
You think he fed off the crowd too? I mean, the crowd got behind him. Ian, I mean.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
absolutely.
Like, could you sort of feel that happening?
Absolutely. He had that first 3, like I said, and the crowd erupted. And I think from then, he was in that zone. Mm-hmm.
Seth, March is a long time away, but you guys need to pick up a win outside the league like this. You got 2 of them now because Dayton probably stay a quad 1 game. Do you ever sit back and think, man, we've got to get a little bit for our resume because the league's over?
Yeah. We knew we needed Florida. We let Florida slip away from us in the last 3-4 minutes. But this one was literally do or die. So when we went down the second half, we went down 14. Whatever it was, their big went on a run by himself, kind of, and they went up 14. But we knew we just had to sit down and lock in and just say as a team, like, hey, can't let it happen again. You know, I've been through this too many times. So this one was desperately needed.
Were there conversations specifically about needing to get one of those kind of wins?
Absolutely. We talk all the time about it. Me and Elliot talked about it. Us and the rest of the team have talked about it. We've all talked about it. The coaches have talked about it. So we knew what we needed to do today.
Hubert kind of talked about with, the comebacks that y'all haven't closed out, that what was different about today was it wasn't panicked. Y'all looked at it from possession to possession instead of, in his words, trying to make a 16-point play. What does that look like from your perspective?
It just focus on one play at a time. HC said it best. When we're down and we're trying to get it all back in a 2-minute span, it makes it even harder. We end up making more mistakes. Teams end up scoring easily. So when we just take possession as a possession and just say, hey, this possession we're going to do this, the next possession we're going to do this and that, it really helps.
Yeah, and what was different about tonight? Was it just that do-or-die mentality, or what was
we
it?
just learn from our mistakes. Learn from our mistakes, I guess. We've been here many times this season already, so it's about time we finally close out on one.
Walking off the court Tuesday, and how you
I feel like we trusted each other. Really, that's what I was telling him. But we just relied on our defense and rebounding. That's it.
Did you get the sense out there that you guys had a little higher level of scrappiness throughout the game today?
Yes.
Even defensively, the communication was there. It seemed like you guys were on the ball a little bit more.
Right.
Not as many uncontested shots allowed.
Mm-hmm. We just wanted to have that same intensity of the second half against Florida. That's what we wanted to have.
And your thoughts on Ian just kind of fearlessly attacking and the crowd sort of getting behind him as he continued to do what he was doing?
Yeah, I thought that was great for Ian. It was great to see him put on a show in his city. And, I'm happy we got the win.
How much of a relief was it after you got the stop at the rebound there at the end? After, so many times you guys had a tough time finishing.
Mm-hmm. It was great. I was happy that we got the stop. We secured the rebound. Elliot, he made a great defensive play, and I was able to get the rebound.
I was actually going to ask you about the that last Elliot stop. He was guarding that and of course in the miss. Just what was your vantage point on that play? Like, what do you just remember about this?
I remember that he walled up good. And just forced him into a tough shot without fouling.
Seth said you guys had talked as a team about the need to get a good non-conference win, kind of build the resume, even though it's only December. How much did you guys talk about that? And can you put anxiety on yourself needing to get a win like that when you talk about it so much, or how do you kind of?
We did talk about it a little bit. Finish up these guys so they can wanted to play against good competition and just to compete at a high level every game.
Appreciate it.
What was the coolest thing